Listen to this, Manchester City financial fair play blow as the case could run on for another year before we get an outcome on this. And look, in the last year, Man City have spent £500 million on players, £500 million of transfers in the last year. So what can they do in the next year before this decision is made? It's ridiculous. It's incredible. It's a shambles, but ultimately, even from a Man City point of view, it must get frustrating. And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, having worked in law in a previous life, sometimes you think when people are taking a long time to come up with a decision, it's because they're debating whether it's right or wrong. Others would say, well, the longer it goes on, the more they're thinking about, outcomes, etc. Look, I don't know. My feeling has always been for a long time that the punishment for this will be, minimal for Manchester City. And you do look at the volume of money that they're spending. And why shouldn't they? They have that revenue. They have been, in my opinion, the best footballing side in the Premier League this year. And as somebody that's been bored by Pep in the past, I actually think they're playing good football, apart from yesterday, where I did think they played really well as well. And thank you very much for the 3 points. But banter aside, this is what is coming out, and it's coming out from the Independent, that Manchester City's ongoing legal battle with the Premier League could reportedly rumble on for another year. The Independent claims the 3 independent judges have not yet made a decision, and that aside from a small circle, no one has any idea whether the panel will reach an outcome. City, of course, were originally charged with these financial regulations from 2009 to 2018. And for failing to cooperate with the Premier League's investigation. The club have repeatedly maintained their innocence, and although it's often referred to as 115 charges, it's believed there could be up to 130. Obviously, Pep Guardiola's side has won titles during this investigation and spent a lot of money as well. But effectively, we could be waiting another year for it. Now, of course, this will lead to some Premier League clubs being, questioning this. I don't know where I am on this anymore. I think there was an appetite for of interest when it was first going on, and I thought we would have had a result by now. And ultimately, if they've cheated or broken rules, then there should be some punishment. But it almost feels now, when I speak to people, and this is how I feel about it as well, I sort of feel like the fire's gone out. We've seen Liverpool win the league last year. We've seen Arsenal probably going to win the league this year, competing with Manchester City. And Man City have still spent a lot of money. And Pep Guardiola is probably going to be gone very soon. And Man City are clearly not going to go anywhere. They're going to keep spending. But there are regulations in place now, and they still go out and buy players. So, I just don't know. And another side to that coin is that I look at Newcastle, who can't spend money but have money. I look at Manchester United, who have owners that don't want to spend money anymore. And I think, well, look, Manchester City are a football club. They've got a fan base, and they want to spend money to be successful and make their football team better. And as much as I don't like the fact that maybe Man City have broken rules, I also look at the way Man City do it and go, well, would I like an owner that tries to find ways to spend money to make their team better and win? I bloody would.